waking the cameraman up.
Oh,
he was yawning.
Oh, no.
Really? He was. I promise.
You're overworking, right?
No, that's why he's put on duty on Razor Active. To keep him nice and healthy.
That will wake him up.
That's right. Well, it's Razor Active and we're on the topic of F1. One's favourite. One is our favourite. Anyway.
Go on.
Okay.
Yes.
We are going to talk about the economic impact of the F1 race that we're going to have here.
So will it bring in the moolah? Will it bring it the ka-ching like it's supposed to? We don't know, but
we've put together a he said, she said video, so let's just take a look.
Ding.
Here's the million-dollar question. With the Formula One racing into Singapore soon, is it not a money spinner? Well, the government certainly thinks so. It says tourism receipts will go up by $100 million a year. For example, hotels are expected to see a huge jump in takings as thousands of overseas fans are expected to flock here. Some even say that the race will keep Singapore's slowing economy from going into reverse, or as they say in economic talk, sliding into a recession. On the other hand, others are not too hopeful about the F1's positive effects. Remember that big IMF and World Bank convention back in 2006? It was supposed to bring in lots of money. Instead, it was more hype than real dollars and cents. Some economists say that the Grand Prix is untested and unlikely to give that much a boost to retail sales, and that the construction sector's boom is too small to make a big difference, as it makes up only about 4% of Singapore's economy.
An expected incremental receipt income from tourist receipts of $100 million from the F1 alone. That's a huge number to be talking about.
Very, very much.
Yeah. Do you think that it's a lot? Well, a lot has happened since then, since the announcement of what STB's expectation was. So, I mean, everyone has IMF at the back of their heads. Yeah.
I guess, but you can't compare IMF and F1, I guess, because when IMF came to town, the delegates were all in business suits, polished shoes. They come to work, they have meetings and all that. So
we had all these flowers imported from China.
Yeah.
And you're just saying that they're
not
really in the mood for shopping.
Yeah, they come to talk and discuss deals. But for F1, the people are here to have fun, to have parties, to really come and let their hair down. So I think
it's much more a softer event too. Yeah, it's true. What do you think,
I think it's the same, but the only problem is that there are quite a lot of areas being blocked off during the race itself, so it's going to be quite...
it's going to inconvenience a lot of people. It might actually, some people are saying it might actually bring business down because people can't get into the areas.
Because they rather stay at home or go somewhere else to do the shopping and all that,
It's in the heartlands, man.
But I think Marina Square and Suntec still have pedestrian access.
They do. They do pedestrian.
During the F1 itself.
You have to squeeze with the rest on the public transport before you can get there.
Yeah, man.
But I mean, with 100,000 spectators expected for the race, they'll be passing through Marina Square, I think, some of them. So there might be more business.
If you actually had to buy a ticket, would you have?
Would I have? I would, but the cheapest one, the $168.
See him
Walkabout.
Hey! What about you? How much did you pay for your tickets? Did you pay a lot for your tickets?
Yeah, 1,000 plus. But there was another one even more expensive. It's at the Esplanade there.
Those are
food and all
the hospitality suite, right?
Yeah.
The chichi. And I mean, even with like the parties, for example, there have been like these packages.
Yeah.
You know, the $1 million package thing where you get the yacht and they do everything.
Those are for really high-end people.
Yeah. We all know that there's a lot of money to be made from the F1. But in terms of economic impact for Singapore as a whole, just besides the ticketing itself, I mean, they say that 95% of tickets have been sold already.
I think 99% by now.
By now, 99%. Okay, that's
even
the
walkabout,
number.
you can't get it anymore.
Walkabout was sold out like 2, 3, 4.
I think there's only 1,000 out of 100,000 tickets.
That's right. About 1,000 tickets remaining as of this week.
It should be sold out.
So, okay, ticketing aside, we're talking about spin-offs, economic spin-offs like retail. We're talking about all sorts across the board. In terms of, I mean, for one, hoteliers are supposed to be the main beneficiary, of such a huge event. Earlier on, lots in the media about whether there's going to be a room crunch. People thought initially there's going to be a room crunch, and then not because
a lot of people going
I
to
think
JB.
the high prices put many people off. I think
the high prices, right?
It was like 1,500 a night, and then minimum stays of 3 nights or 5 nights. I think for people flying in from the Europe, UK and all that, it's already $5,000 if you throw in the ticket prices and all that.
But I think the people who are coming in are also like of the jet set crowd, I guess. So
yeah.
they probably will shell out the moolah.
Yeah, if they have the spending power and they're going to keep spending, that might actually generate enough spending, money for everybody else.
But it's certainly benefiting JB hotels.
Yeah, man. Everybody's like, overnight bus coming into Singapore. They might not be able to get the overnight buses coming into Singapore.
Yeah.
That's the thing,
Because
because
get stuck in the traffic jam.
exactly, it's going to be a bit tough down there and expensive coming in. You have to, swim over.
Yeah, okay, you heard that tip from Razor TV, okay, swim over.
Swim over.
Well,
Okay,
that's all we have for you tonight, I'm
Yes.
afraid. Thanks,
And-
Leonard. Thanks,
Thank you.
Kaylin, for joining us tonight.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
You've been excellent guests.
Yes.
Yes, and we will look forward to seeing you again sometime.
It is F1 season.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Closer to the race,
so
yeah.
we will be back. Yes. Meanwhile, we haven't really got a razorism for you today, but we're gonna leave you with that fancy animation of the F1 track one more time. So for now, don't let Sarah become an F1 driver. Good night.
Asia's first Grand Prix on a city circuit for the first time in Singapore. Hi, I'm Mark Webber, and this is Singapore Street Circuit. It's a good 5 kilometres through the city centre, 61 laps counterclockwise, in all 309 kilometres. 6 slow turns under 100, 4 high-speed stretches, 3 ideal spots for overtaking. Start will be at 8 p.m. Singapore is the first Formula One night race. Practice session is just before sunset. So let's catch the last of the sun and do a lap. After the start on the home stretch, I can see Sebastian all over my mirrors as we break down for the first corner. Someone could easily grab an inside move. Now comes the long wide Raffles Boulevard, the fastest part of the circuit. A chance to overtake at over 300 or in the slow turn that follows. But the timing must be perfect. During the night, 1,600 lights will illuminate the whole track and the colonial buildings around Padang. The narrowest spot, only 10 metres wide, the century-old Anderson Bridge. And the tight hairpin accelerate out of it early, up to over 300 kilometres an hour over the Esplanade Bridge. The stretch along Marina Bay is the slowest, with lots of turns, and another Singapore highlight, we drive under the grandstand itself. To reach the last section of the track between the marina and the flyer, the Singapore Ferris wheel. 2 fast left-handers, then onto the home stretch. Who's going to win the first Singapore Grand Prix? Find out on racing day.